Wow, guys, the full-length Justice League trailer, Zack Snyder's Justice League, is finally here. We're gonna talk about it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, then come back here. Let's do it. Okay, this trailer was completely different in tone from Joss Whedon's Justice League. I remember years ago when the trailer came out for that, there were just so many jokes and everything, trying to be this like fun adventure film of all of these superheroes teaming up together, which is great, but it's just not what this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be a sequel to Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. And we've finally got that here. If you had any concerns about this movie, watch this trailer. I think it'll get rid of all those for you. It feels like there's actual weight and stakes to this. It feels like there's actual emotion. And the best thing is, it feels like they're actually paying off everything that was set up in Batman vs Superman. A lot of people don't like Batman vs Superman, which is totally valid, but it wasn't ever supposed to just be this kind of standalone film. It wasn't ever supposed to end there. There were a lot of things that were set up that were supposed to continue on in Justice League. And it looks like we're finally getting that. I wouldn't be surprised if after this film comes out, a lot of people have a lot more respect and just interest in Batman vs Superman. And for anyone that was a fan of BVS and had all those storylines and plot points kind of thrown away in Justice League, well, I think we're getting what we wanted. All of Lex Luthor's monologues talking about the future, Nightmare Batman and Bruce's premonitions of this terrible future to come. And that's great, because if this does what I hope it's going to do, this will feel like a complete story, or at least a continuation of the story that was set up. And this trailer actually makes it feel like it's a sequel to Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, instead of just a knee-jerk reaction by Joss Whedon and Warner Brothers. In this trailer, we got to see some great new shots of Darkseid and Steppenwolf, and the CGI here is just miles beyond what we got in Justice League. The CGI in Justice League, and all of the VFX for that matter, just kind of felt thrown together. And we know that it was a rushed job anyway, and it really showed. But every single shot in this trailer just looks incredible. You can tell that they've put the time, the money, and the effort into making this what it should have been from the beginning. And that's no small feat to do. Going back and redoing visual effects, guys, it seriously takes so much work to pull that off. I've always been worried that this was just gonna be another cash grab by Warner Brothers, but you can really tell that this is a labor of love, that Zack and team are putting everything they've got into restoring this vision. And in these scenes, does Steppenwolf sound different to anyone? I don't know if they changed his voice or if it's just the sound mix, but actually, here's what it is. It's just that he actually looks the way that he did when he was introduced briefly in Batman vs Superman. And this vision of him just fits that voice so much more. He's not this kind of weak, weird looking guy anymore. He actually looks menacing, and the voice fits that. We also got all of these great quick shots of all of these different scenes from the different members of the Justice League that were cut from the theatrical version. And you can just really tell that they're going to do the characters justice, pun intended. Or at least that they're going to flesh these characters out way more than they were before. I mean, we've got 4 hours to tell this story. This isn't a story that's being forced into a 2-hour time frame like most movies are. This story is going to take as long as it needs to take to be told. And let's talk about the music in this trailer, because the music alone gives this thing a whole new feel. I'm a filmmaker in my day job. I've written and directed a feature film, and so I've seen firsthand how huge an impact music can have on a story. I mean, sometimes we'll spend days going back and forth just to find the right track for a specific scene. Music can literally make or break a film. It's so critical. And while Danny Elfman did a great job with Justice League, it's just not the right sound and tone for this vision of the story. And so I really think that Junkie XL, who worked on the music for BVS and is now doing this version of Justice League, is gonna knock it out of the park. The other thing that this trailer really shows us that is gonna change the tone of the film is the color grade. I mean, even the scenes that we've already seen from Joss Whedon's version feel totally different, because where those scenes used to be way oversaturated and colorful, they just feel very grounded here. The color palette here is a lot less warm, and it just gives us this gritty, ominous feel that we had in the previous 2 films, but we lost it in the theatrical cut. So it's great to have that back. And of course, we get this iconic shot of Superman in the black suit just wrecking house. We get the perfect delivery of this line from Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
It has to.
And then we get the title card. And honestly, they could have ended the trailer here and I would have been satisfied. But they took it a step further, and to top it all off, we got a brand new scene with Batman and the return of Jared Leto's Joker. And guys, this was so good. I had goosebumps at the end of this trailer because Jared Leto is a fantastic actor. There's a reason that he's won an Academy Award. Most of his scenes as the Joker were cut from Suicide Squad, and he's been super open about feeling like the work that he did wasn't shown off in that film. So I'm excited to see what he does with the character here, because it's not many times that an actor gets a second chance to go back to a role like this and give it a second shot. Also, this is a totally new scene. It was shot specifically for this release of the film. And they didn't have to do that. It takes so much work to go back and write and plan and shoot and edit a scene like this. And this scene at the end just felt like kind of a thank you to fans from Zack Snyder. It felt like he was saying, guys, thank you for making this happen. There's seriously so much negativity out there, and it's just been so great to actually see fans rallying around something they love in such a positive way right now. This scene to me is just further evidence that this is a labor of love, and whether or not it's successful, I'm just glad that everyone who's worked on this project finally gets to bring their vision to the big screen. But the craziest thing about having this and other new scenes in this film is that it almost feels like they might be setting up future films. So if this film is successful, will we get more films from Zack Snyder and his team? Maybe that's wishful thinking, who knows? But what I do know is that I am here for it and I am pumped. I'm just excited to watch a big blockbuster again. It feels like it's been forever. But what about you guys? Are you excited, or do you think it's just gonna be the same old Justice League movie with the shiny new paint job? And what do you think the future of the DCEU is after this? Let me know in the comments below, and check out my other video here on why the Snyder Cut is much more than just another superhero movie and why it could change the film industry forever. Guys, thank you so much for watching. The support this last week has been absolutely insane. Thank you so much, and I'll see you around.